Hey everybody, Neil here. Welcome back to the Weekly Source, your source for the latest in benefits in HR. Special guest with us today, Misha Bokikio, our Content Marketing Manager. Misha, welcome to the Source.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it, you got it. We're here today to talk about our benefits benchmark report. We've dubbed this as your magnum opus as a Content Marketing Manager to be able to take our system data, make it something that's presentable for our audience. I mean, tell us a bit about the process, kind of how it came to be, and just about the report.
Yeah, so this report is actually an analysis of our proprietary system user data. It's the first time we've ever done any type of report like this, so we're really excited to share it. And when we looked at this, we looked at over 92 million benefit elections that have taken place within the platform, so it's real user data. And we tried to really slice and dice this in ways that would be meaningful for the industry. So we looked at things like how much the average cost of providing healthcare has increased. We looked at how many benefits the typical employer is offering and what are the most popular types of employee benefits. And then we also looked at open enrollment data just to get some behavior statistics on how people are actually using our system. So there's a lot of really great information in the report.
Awesome, and I would say this is probably one of our most requested pieces of, what's the baseline for time being spent? How many elections are being made? And you can see a few different sources out there, but it's the first time we've taken our own data and brought it to the forefront, so pretty exciting.
Yeah, so like we said, it's not a survey, and surveys are great. They do have an important place in the ecosystem, but this is an actual, report based on our data, and this was definitely a team effort. We had a team of engineers that helped pull this information. We worked with our designers to make it presentable and make it easily digestible. So it's a great report based on real data, and we're really excited to share it.
Awesome, 92 million elections being analyzed.
Just a small data set.
Yeah. So I mean, with that being said, what jumped out? I mean, as you're putting this together, either what jumped out or what were some big data points that kind of we were able to talk about a bit more freely?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that stood out to me was how much the cost of providing healthcare has increased. That in itself isn't necessarily news. I mean, we know that this is happening. We see it every single day in different articles. We as employees feel it in our paychecks. So that wasn't necessarily news, but for me what was news was how much it had increased. So we saw, depending on the coverage type, an 8 to 9% increase in just a single year, which is alarming. So now is really the time, while you're in this pre-open enrollment planning phase, to really have those conversations with your advisors or with your carriers, or even internally on ways that you can mitigate some of those concerns, looking at things like dependent verification, looking at things like high deductible health plans. Are you offering those? And we outline a few other strategies in the report as well, but just getting ahead of it now before you see another 8 to 9% increase next year.
High deductible plans are becoming more of a trend. Do we have any data around how many of our users are enrolling in them? Like, is that a benchmark we have as well?
Yeah, and we did actually look at that. So right now we're seeing about 50% of people using our platform are offering high deductible plans, which is great, but there's definitely still more room to grow. Interesting to note that less than 1% offered only a high deductible health plan. So we also talk about how employers are really favoring plan diversity and giving employees the choice to look at a plan that might save them some money, but they're not limiting their options. So that's something that we dive into as well.
Very cool, very cool. We've heard about time being spent, an hour researched on benefits plans compared to the 2 hours they spend a day on social media. I mean, we had some data as well on the average time an employee is spending making their elections, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I could enroll in benefits or look at cat videos, I'm taking cat videos all day.
Very nice.
But this was another data point that stood out to me as just something that wasn't an anomaly. We hear it thrown out all the time that employees spend less than 20 minutes enrolling in benefits. And to me, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? So just taking it in context, I think a lot of times this stat is used as clickbait just to get people's attention. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think what this says to me is, look at your own data and see if this is completely inline or completely offline. If you have a system where employees are taking 45 minutes to enroll, that might be a problem.
Sure.
Or if you have a system where people are taking 5 minutes to enroll, that might be a problem too. So looking at your own data, kind of seeing, is it online with the industry average? And then also, doing some internal analysis of your employees. Are they satisfied with their benefit elections? Do they feel confident? Do they understand? what they are essentially opting in to purchase for the next year. So that's really important. So looking at things like, what are your education initiatives? How can you address a diverse workforce? Looking at if you think it's necessary and helpful, which it is, like looking at decision support tools and how that can help really get employees on the same page of understanding their benefits. Because as we just talked about, cost control, having employees that are purchasing plans that they don't understand how to use, or they're purchasing products or plans they might not even need, that's just going to continue to drive up that cost.
Yeah, and empowered, we say to marketing all the time, an empowered user makes a better choice. So somebody might not know what they don't know is going to either overinsure, underinsure, and that's got repercussions down the line.
Absolutely.
So really cool. I think it's awesome that we can even track this. I think, paper enrollment is still being done, and if you were to poll your employees, they might just say, I brought it home and I spent an hour, and here's actually the time being spent. So cool that we can just track it enough and then start to dig in. Again, this is a benchmark, but where we go from here will be pretty cool. So where can folks find this today, the benchmark report?
You can find it all over the interwebs. So we've got it actually at plansource.com/benchmark. You can go there to download it. We're also going to have it featured prominently in our weekly source, so we'll share that link above. You can click on it, get it there. And of course, if you have any questions or comments about the report, feel free to reach out to us directly. We're definitely excited about this, and we're happy to answer any and all questions.
Awesome. Misha, thanks for joining us. Awesome work on this. Again, you said it takes a village to put it together, but we're really happy that it's out. So the designers, the engineers, you compiling this, really excited. So if you guys got questions on the benchmark report, go check it out. Again, it's /benchmark report. Ask questions. You can give us a call or find us on social media, anything specific. But otherwise, we'll see you next week on the Weekly Source. Thanks.